And yes, we're back, another Weegamers video, and playing catch up on the Doctor Who Time of the Daleks, the game from Gale Force 9. Now, back a while, we done our first video that looked at the core game and all the expansions to date, and then, you know, stuff happened. We lost time. There was an anomaly. 3 expansions to look through. We're not going to labour this because you're kind of familiar with the game and you've probably seen these already in between times anyway. So we're just kind of doing this for our own benefit to say, yes, we've covered it all. The most anticipated one from our point of view at the club was obviously this expansion. 3rd and 13th Doctor, but also the 8th Doctor. He is absent from the box. We do not know why, but he is not absent inside the box, thankfully, because that was a major reason for wanting to get hold of this one, because Paul McGann's awesome, and even since the movie, has done a lot of stuff for Doctor Who, the audio dramas and all the rest of it. So, without much hesitation, without trying to labour the point, what's inside the box? Well, inside the box you get your normal little instruction sheet, obviously. The only thing that it really points out of here's note is the timey-wimey card that allows you to search through the companion deck, find a memory unit, add them to your companion list. Other than that, it's just the reminders of how the game normally works. Also, as expected, we have our 3 TARDIS boards. 1, 2, and 3. Well, 3's not going to fit in the way I've set this up today, but it's 3rd, the 8th and 13th, as you'd expect. This time again, the nice hard board ones. So, those are lovely. Artwork on the back, as you would expect. Grand. So, timey-wimey cards, and we get a little stack of those. These are themed very much to this expansion and the Doctors that are included in it. And I think there's like 13 in here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay, 12. 13 would have been a sensible number, just because of the 13th Doctor. But there we go. As you can see, a little bit of a slice out of each of the 3 of them's background stories in terms of what you're getting there. Bring Me the Knitting Wild Bill costume. The Who mobile is here. Bessie's here, obviously. The rainbow shirt. So, all doing the kind of sort of thing that you'd expect them to do. Nothing really to write home about amongst them. Just again, thematically, fits in. It's lovely that way. Next up then, you're going to get your companion cards. And there's a fair host of these to be found in this one as well. Alpha Centauri, friend of Amanda's going to be very pleased about that. And we get a few more characters. We get our Doctor cards, obviously themselves. And we get Joe Grant at last, Liz Shaw, Benton, Mike Yates, and then of course the current wave with Ryan, Yaz, Graham, and then this Dalek controlled card. This is a bit new, adds a little bit of a tweak to it. If you draw this card, you draw another companion, apply this card to them. If you end up losing that companion anyway, your adventures become fixed point. Ooh, irksome. Time anomalies, and this time we get 3 new ones to add to the mix there to give you just that, again, a little bit more variety in what's going on. You get your planetary adventures, and you get a fistful more dilemmas to boot as well. We don't need to really rattle through these much. We'll just sort of flip through them to let you sort of see the pictorial representations that are on them. It's nothing that we don't expect. There's a few sort of tweaks to the rewards and whatnot, but nothing that revolutionises the game, nothing that really changes it. We're just sort of getting more of the same there, and to give you that little bit more variety when you're playing it, and to keep the theme right too, because then it represents a little piece of everybody and the adventures that they've been on. And we would be amiss not to point out the fact that, of course, there are the figures themselves. And you get 3. Now, we've got a little bit of a problem with ours in that our 13th Doctor actually has a break. And if I nip over here, I should be able to show you that. So the 13th Doctor's leg is actually broken, unfortunately, but not a hard fix. A little bit of a tilt to her pose as well, but should be able to remedy that. But detail-wise, cannot fault these. We've even got the imprint, if you look there and catch it in the light. The imprint of the rainbow pattern and all's there too. Down to the boots, the socks, the hoodie coat, all captured well. Of course, we have number 3 looking resplendent there. All the fine details have been caught in that. And the note, look at that honk. And the cloak and everything else is there too. That's lovely. And number 8. And there he is. And it's the movie costume, as you can see. And looking really, really nice. Nice bit of detail. Captured him well. And just looks the part. It's lovely to see. Right. That's it. That's the end of the Doctors. For now. The last 2 expansions, which are the Companions. The Friends expansion. No one told you life was going to be this way. But it's the wrong friends. It's these friends, as you can see. There is a change to the rules. Pop the box open. We get a baggie with our figures. We get our friends cards. And we get some time moving cards. And the rules for the friends deck. Okay. So, friends add a change to the game mechanic. At the start of an adventure, instead of drawing a companion, you can elect to play a friends card. You'll draw the top friends card, you'll resolve its effects, and then you'll decide whether to keep them in play or not. If so, you'll put the card over beside the friends marker to know that it's happening. That's kind of it in gist. Haven't actually got playing it to know what the effect of it's going to be like or how it feels in the games. So, fair enough. If you've played already, let us know in the comments. Tell us what you think Friends brings to Doctor Who Time of the Daleks. Interested to know, and we're going to try and find out fairly shortly one of these Sunday nights as well. So the Friends deck are, as it suggests, all friends, and then there are things that you have to do in order to gain the effect from the card. There's a clatter of these to run through. The fact that they don't just represent the characters that are included is interesting. We do wonder, will we see more friends? Will we see more companions released as well? Because certainly we see companions from all sorts of eras here being shown in the cards themselves. And we get a few more timey-wimey cards. In this case, 5. And, of course, our companions themselves. So who have we got here? Ooh, we're missing where we are. So there we go. And nice detail. It's interesting the periods that they've chosen to represent the companions. It would also make you sort of wonder, are we going to see expansions that simply look at these companions and friends at different eras in when they have known the Doctor too? But again, all the figures absolutely looking the part of who they are supposed to depict. And quite recognisable from the periods that they joined the Doctor's adventures as well. Look at the jumper, look at the detail on that, isn't that class? The cowboy bits even with the detail on them. Fantastic. So there we go. There is, as I say, 2 expansion decks. I think we're sort of labouring and stretching things out for you if we go through too much there. It's going to be a complete repeat of what you've just seen. This time, of course, another set of our chums. And again, a little roll sheet that just highlights that. The 2 sets of cards, and most importantly for you probably, the miniatures themselves. We should have maybe, I suppose, we could have held off talking about these until we'd actually got playing with ourselves. But you know us, we've got no patience. But I certainly can't complain about the figures themselves. And for other games, I know some people like to cross over the figures. They are, for that point, I would say they're about 28mm heroic. They're kind of a little bit tall, but not too tall. They're not lanky. And our last 2 here. Actually, the expression that is perfect. That kind of sourbeck. Yeah, captured those very well. Like it. And there you go. That's Friends. So the last three expansions, as best as we can throw them at you, two that offer you the Friends and the slightly alternative way to play, and then of course, I think humbly from our opinion, the most importantly, the one that brings the Doctors themselves full circle. And that's it. That's all we have time for today. Check out our other videos, check out the previous Doctor Who one if you like, and while we're at it, somewhere over there possibly. Quick link at the minute, Drive-Thru RPG, just a cheap throw in here for my own sake, and not because of any ego, but just because I'm quite proud of it, I have to say. Quick Start Adventure number 1 for the Stokerverse, which humble little I has had a massive hand in putting together, and we're still working away on a much bigger, much more elaborate second adventure and the core rulebook, thanks to Nightfall Games and Stoker Macaulay Productions. Fun thing to be involved in, probably adding to my grey hairs and sleepless nights, but if you have the time to check it out and spare a quid for a download of the first 70-page adventure, filled to the brim with art by the exceptional Clint Langley, it would be greatly appreciated. We might even do a video on that if my ego will allow me. Thanks for watching for now, and take care. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.